Hi, I'm Mason Weaver, and in this video I'm going to talk about three psychological principles of learning: classical conditioning, operant conditioning, and observational learning. And I will also use my dog to demonstrate operant conditioning. So to begin, classical conditioning was extensively researched by Ivan Pavlov in 1927. One of his experiments consisted of ringing a bell consistently before giving dogs food, eventually making the dogs have the same response to the bell alone as they would have to the food. The bell would originally serve as the neutral stimulus because it does not naturally invoke a response in a dog. The food, on the other hand, was the unconditioned stimulus because it caused a reaction in the dogs naturally. After the process was completed, the bell became the conditioned stimulus because the dogs were conditioned to have the same response to the bell as they would to the food. The second principle of learning is called operant conditioning. Operant conditioning was initially researched by B. F. Skinner in 1938. He performed experiments with mice in a box. The box had a lever, lights, a speaker, a food dispenser, and an electrified grid. When the mice pushed the lever, they were rewarded with food, so they continued to push the lever more often in order to get more food. Likewise, if the mouse is punished after an action, like pressing the lever, it was less likely to do that action. Skinner's experiment proved that reinforcement causes an animal to increase a behavior, and punishment causes an animal to decrease a behavior. So now I'll show you a video of my dog that I used operant conditioning on to teach a new trick. Alright, so now I'm going to demonstrate operant conditioning. So I'm going to teach my dog how to shake my hand by feeding it a treat every time he shakes my hand. Let's shake it. Shake. There we go. There you go. So as you can see, I'm shaking his hand and feeding him every time I do that, so he associates food with shaking his hand. So hopefully he'll want to do that more often. Shake. Good boy. And there you can see he did it on his own for the first time, so he's learning that if he shakes my hand, he'll get food. Shake. Good boy. Good boy. Shake. Good boy. So operant conditioning has been able to make my dog associate shaking my hand with getting food. So positive reinforcement makes him increase in the behavior. So lastly, one of the principles of observational learning were researched in 2013 by Yamamoto, Humley, and Tanaka. They experimented with chimpanzees and juice boxes. They gave each of the chimps a juice box and a straw. Some of the chimps got juice out of the box by dipping the straw in the juice and taking it back out to drink from the bottom of the straw. Some of the chimps, however, sucked through the straw to get the juice, just like normal people do, which was much more effective. Once the chimps that were dipping the straws saw the ones that were sucking through the straw, they all began to suck through the straw. These chimpanzees demonstrated observational learning, learning a new skill by watching others that already know the skill. So in conclusion, classical conditioning, operant conditioning, and observational learning are three major principles of psychology that help us understand how organisms learn. This helps not only with knowing how animals and other people learn, but also how you yourself learn. Thank you.